Have you ever looked around and wondered why the rich keep getting richer while you're still fighting just to survive? You work hard, you sacrifice, yet every month feels the same: bills, stress, and barely enough to breathe. It feels unfair, doesn't it? But here's the truth almost no one dares to say. Money doesn't obey fairness. Money obeys power. And power is never given. It's taken strategically. That's why you stay broke, because you still believe in the rules. You still believe hard work will be rewarded, that if you just wait your turn, someone will notice your effort. But the wealthy, they don't wait. They don't hope. They engineer their wealth by bending people, systems, even reality itself. If you don't understand the cold principles behind that game, you'll always be prey, a servant inside someone else's empire. What you're about to hear isn't motivation. It's not work harder or save more, because if hard work alone created wealth, every laborer would already be rich. But they aren't, because they were never taught what Machiavelli called the art of hidden power. Today, you'll hear the laws that schools never teach, your parents never knew, and the rich will never say out loud. These laws aren't pretty. They aren't kind. But if you understand them, you will never see money or the world the same way again. Have you noticed something? The poorer a person is, the more they talk. They talk about plans, dreams, and the day they'll finally make it. But the wealthy, they stay silent, not because they have nothing to say, but because they understand silence is a weapon. In the game of money, most people destroy themselves through their own words. They complain when they're tired, boast when they win a little, and expose their emotions like a signal for others to read. But Machiavelli knew, the one who controls silence controls power, because silence creates pressure. When you say nothing, people start guessing, and when they guess, they reveal themselves. In negotiation, the one who talks too much always loses. They try to prove their worth, to please, to fill the void. The silent one just observes. They make others nervous until those people reveal the very secrets they meant to protect. The rich understand this. They walk into rooms calm, composed, quiet. They don't rush to speak. They let everyone else show their cards. And when the time is right, they strike. While everyone else bleeds words, they collect information. Silence turns them from prey into predator. Think about it. How many times have you regretted saying too much? How many times did your need to explain yourself cost you respect, a deal, or even your peace? Every careless word is a piece of leverage lost. Silence isn't avoidance. Silence is strategy. It makes you mysterious. And mystery creates value. The less people know about you, the more they're forced to respect you. From today on, stop trying to always be heard. Let others talk. Let them reveal. You just observe, store, and wait. Because in this world, the loud attract attention, but the silent command power. When you learn to weaponize silence, you stop reacting and start controlling. Comment below, silence is my strength. He tended the resigned faces trainters of marking, because from this moment forward, you no longer speak to prove. You speak to conquer. You've learned how to stay silent, but silence alone isn't enough. Because if people can still read you, they can still control you. That's why the second law exists. Become unreadable. Think about the last time you were angry, nervous, or afraid. Your face gave it away. Your voice changed. Your body shifted. And in that moment, anyone watching you owned you. Salesmen know when you hesitate. Bosses know when you need money. Lovers know when you'll give in. They don't need to ask, they just read you. Machiavelli warned, A prince must learn how not to be good when necessary. He didn't mean cruelty. He meant control. Control over expression, over reaction, over exposure. In the game of power, calm is armor, silence is the blade, and an unreadable face is the mask that terrifies everyone. Look at truly powerful people. They rarely react. Bad news? Calm. Praise? Still calm. They've mastered the art of emotional stillness, because whoever controls their emotions controls the battlefield. The next time someone tries to provoke you, don't react, don't defend, don't explain, just stare silent, still, unshaken. You'll see something shift. They'll lose control. Humans fear what they can't predict. We're comfortable with the loud, the emotional, the explainable, but the unreadable, that's unsettling. It's dominance without aggression. It's power without volume. When you become unreadable, you become untouchable. No one can anticipate your next move. No one can plan against you. You become what Machiavelli would call a shadow with intention. You don't need to outsmart everyone. You just need to stop letting them read you. Because when people can't understand you, they stop trying to fight you. They either follow you or fear you. And that's the real secret. It's not about being mysterious for attention. It's about being calm in chaos, invisible in noise, and untouchable under pressure. If you've ever felt like people read you too easily, comment below. Never again. Because from today on, you're not a book to be read. You're a labyrinth. They can enter, but they'll never find the center. This is the second law of Machiavellian wealth. Turn emotion into strategy. Turn expression into control. Because in a world where everyone is shouting their feelings, the one who stays unreadable rules them all. You've learned to stay silent. You've learned to become unreadable. But there's one more trait that separates the hunter from the hunted. The predator's patience. Most people are impulsive. They chase everything that shines. They panic when things go wrong. They act first, think later, and mistake movement for progress. But Machiavelli understood something brutal. The fastest don't win. The most patient do. Predators don't run after their prey. They watch. They study. They wait for weakness. And when the timing is perfect, they strike once and end it. The same law governs wealth. The poor rush into trends. They buy at the top, sell at the bottom, jump from one opportunity to the next. The rich move slowly. They watch while others panic. They know speed is emotion, and emotion bleeds power. Patience isn't about waiting. It's about calculating. It's observing while others burn their energy. It's holding position until the battlefield clears. It's knowing that one precise move is worth more than 100 impulsive ones. The next time you feel desperate to act, pause, take one breath. Ask yourself, am I moving or am I being moved? Because in that pause, you'll feel something shift. You'll start seeing the game instead of being played by it. The rich buy when fear fills the air. They expand when others retreat. They wait for storms, because storms create discounts, opportunities, and silence. Machiavelli wrote, "The wise man does at once what the fool does finally." Meaning, the wise act only when the outcome is certain. Everyone else acts out of fear, emotion, or noise. Patience is not passivity. It's silent aggression. The art of doing nothing until nothing becomes the perfect strike. If you've ever lost something because you rushed, comment, "I will wait like a predator." Because when you master patience, you stop chasing and start hunting. Remember this, the impulsive drown in chaos. The patient build empires from it. Power doesn't belong to those who run faster. It belongs to those who wait longer and move only once, when the world isn't ready. You've mastered silence. You've learned to be unreadable. You've learned to wait while others panic. But Machiavelli knew patience alone doesn't make you powerful. You can be calm, intelligent, and disciplined, yet still stay broke if you keep fighting with your own hands. That's why he wrote, "A prince must learn to use the arms of others." Well, I will the dunas, meaning powerful people don't fight their battles alone. They fight through leverage. This is Law 4. Leverage, the art of multiplying yourself. Look around you. Poor people trade time for money. Rich people trade systems for freedom. The poor say, if I work harder, I'll earn more. But time is a currency that never multiplies. Once it's spent, it's gone. The rich say, if I build systems, people, or ideas that work for me, I'll earn even when I sleep. That's leverage. And it's the secret behind every empire. You can't build a castle with bare hands, but you can build an empire if you learn how to use the strength of others, their time, their skills, their attention, even their emotions. Think about your job. You work 8, 10, maybe 12 hours a day. Your boss? He may not even be there. You labor, he accumulates power because you are his leverage. The question is, when will you start creating your own? Every time you trade hours for dollars, you sell the only resource that never comes back, your freedom. When you build leverage, you stop serving someone else's dream and start constructing your own. Leverage can take many forms: people, technology, media, money, or systems. The smart don't do everything themselves. They set up the chessboard, then move only the pieces that matter. Machiavelli would call this invisible warfare, winning without fighting, earning without sweating. It's not luck, it's architecture. If you've ever worked harder but earned less, comment, "I need leverage," because the moment you stop chasing every opportunity and start creating systems that attract them, the game changes. The truth is brutal, effort is noble, but structure is superior. In this world, the strong don't win by muscle, they win by design. The worker runs, the strategist directs, and the one who holds the leverage owns the outcome. You've seen how the powerful use leverage, how they multiply their strength through systems, people, and design. But there's a form of leverage even greater than that, one that bends entire markets, nations, and generations. It's called the law of narrative. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago when he wrote, "Men are driven by imagination more than by reason. People don't follow logic, they follow stories. That's why Apple doesn't sell phones. They sell identity. Luxury brands don't sell clothes, they sell status. And influencers, they don't sell products. They sell the illusion of transformation. Money doesn't chase truth. Money chases belief. The poor believe that good work speaks for itself. The rich know that the story is what gives work its value, because truth without a story is invisible, and a lie wrapped in the right story becomes reality. Religions, politics, corporations, they're all built on narrative. A leader doesn't need to be right. He only needs to be believed. Ask yourself, how many of your decisions are truly your own? How many things have you bought, joined, or defended because of a story someone else wrote? That's the power of narrative. It turns perception into currency. And the ones who control perception control the flow of money. If you ignore this law, you'll live inside someone else's story forever, working, arguing, consuming, and for their benefit, not yours. So start watching the stories around you. Every ad, every movement, every truth. They're not communication, they're design, a test to see who still thinks and who only reacts. Machiavelli would say, appearances are everything. In this world, the truth doesn't win. The best story does. If you've ever realized that you were being sold a story, comment, "No more."